So basically, for those that don't know, I'm Magnus, a man with a beard. I'm from England. I've lived in LA for the past 33 years. A Porsche enthusiast. I'm a Porsche collector. I'm a Porsche driver. So that is the long story short as to who I am and what I do. But I do always say, regardless of what language we speak, whether it's English, German, or Spanish, what brings us all together essentially are these cars right here. We all love the Porsche. But I do have to say to all the people in the Porsche Latin American region, which I know is a lot of countries, I've traveled all over the world, but what I will say in all honesty is no one is more passionate than the Latin American about Porsche. I want to thank everyone for joining today and allowing me to share my story and the language that we all speak together, which is Porsche. So that's who I am, and I can give you a little tour around what it is you're about to see. So I'm based in LA. I've lived here for 37 years. I first fell in love with Porsche when I was 10 years old. You know, my love affair with Porsche started with a poster on the wall, like one of these posters. So as a kid, I went to the London Court Motor Show in 1977, wrote a letter to Porsche, said I wanted to design cars for them. They wrote me a letter back, said, call us when you're older. And my love affair with Porsche started right here with a white Martini Turbo from 1977. But I didn't buy my first Porsche until I was 25, 25 años, and that was in 1992. Since I've owned quite a few, but the majority of my cars are mostly air-cooled 911s. But when it comes to Porsche, what I say is my goal is to have one of everything Porsche's ever made in a sports car. So that's front engine, mid-engine, rear engine, air and water cooled. And I like to build, collect, and modify what I like to call sport purpose, streetable track cars. You know, my area of sort of most enjoyment is the late 60s and early 70s. So, you know, it's everything from short wheelbase cars. We might as well start here. This is a 1965 911 short wheelbase car. So as you can see, it's been modified. It's on the Panasport Mini Lights. It's got the original full grill home grills. And then next to it is this very, very cool 67 911S. This is sort of an R-inspired car. It's got an S front bumper. It's got these very cool louvered fenders. It has a 2.5 liter twin plug motor that dynoed at 279 horsepower. Center hood filler, race-inspired tank. Really lightweight, rolling on these Outlaw wheels, which are 15x7s. So that's a polished lip, bead blasted hoop, and then two-stage powder coat center on Hoosiers. It's got the dimple die here in the steel bumper for the oil cooler. And then it's got a really stripped out interior. Running a custom 901 5-speed with shortened gears, limited slip. Like I said, 2.5 liter motor, which is not currently in the car, but SC, this is the first year of the SC. Another sort of sport purpose, readable track car, lightweight, style, roll bar, tartan seats. Next to it, one of my favorites, an Irish green 1966, all original except for being repainted once. I've owned this car probably a dozen years. It's got a lot of character, still has the original wood wheel, carpet that's going a little threadbare. So I love these early short wheelbase cars. It's running on a 5.5-inch Steely. The SC next to it's running on a 16x7 1/8 with a 225, 245. Got a ducktail on it. There's the big wing on the 935 inspired 74 Carrera. And then perhaps one of my favorite rows is the row of turbos. So this is the car that started my love affair with Porsche. We all know the first turbo came out in 1975. Porsche made 284 examples of the 1975 model. There's a left-hand drive one. And here's a really rare, only 34 made, right-hand drive example. This car I imported from Australia about 6-7 years ago, and it was God's red. This is the original color, copper brown metallic. Rolling on my own set of Outlaw wheels. This is the first right-hand drive car I've ever owned, and Porsche only made 34 of them in that first year of the production for the turbo. Next to it is also a 75. This is a left-hand drive example in an ice green metallic. It's got this very, very cool Brumos-inspired stripe. Has the early 75 only turbo tail with the small grille compared to the later 76 with the big grille. Obviously non-US bumper overriders. And this car's got a very cool interior. It's all black watch tartan. Door panels, rear seat backs. It's a very, very cool car. One of my favorite cars. So these are 3-liter non-intercooled small brakes. This one is the first turbo I ever bought in the center, also a 76. This is a lifelong LA car delivered to Bob Smith Porsche. It's documented by the factory to be the first turbo sold in America, and I'm the 4th owner. It's never been out of LA. Wow. Lifelong LA car. Pretty special. These cars are all original motors and transmissions. Some may have been repainted, but original colors. This one is a Swiss delivery car, Euro 4-speed, delivered to the Swiss market with a wide interior, non-sunroof, second turbo that I bought, and actually the car that's on the first set of our own Outlaw wheels, which were inspired by the factory Fuchs. But you see they have the hollow spokes. So, and then this one here is a US spec 1977, also ice green metallic, 3-liter, with a very, very cool interior. This one's got the green avocado leather, also with tartan inserts. And this is one of those cars that has everything, original papers, toolkit, all the stuff I don't normally care about. This car has it. So that is the row of Turbo Fever. And then what we have here on the front row, I'm actually a couple of cars down right now. I have a couple of cars getting worked on, one's getting painted. But here we have a very cool 1999 Gen 1 Aero kit car, Gen 2 04 GT3, which is right there. Kind of race-inspired, streetable track car. Also on these Brumos-inspired stripes. And then I'll open the door and show you something else. And then what I recently got was right here. '02 996 GT2. And this car is pretty interesting. They only made, I think, 345 of them for the market here. It's full leather interior. So a really pretty nice car. So we got, you know, Gen 1, GT2, GT3, and then GT4 all right here, which is a nice little mix of GT2, GT3, GT4. And then perhaps my favorite, car number 277, the car I've owned the longest. I've owned this car 21 years. Started life as a 1971. You can even get a Hot Wheels of it. That's pretty cool right there. So that's what I describe as my favorite car. They're all housed in this 1902 building, and I'll continue with the tour. Just give me one sec. Back here, I got a couple of things. This is where all my parts stash is. I got a couple of 928s. This one's a 79. and then I'll go into the other part. So this concludes the garage, and then we're going to go into what's called the warehouse. So we're going to start in here. We'll walk through those. And then here we have a 1978 oak green metallic 928. This was the first 928 that I acquired. Euro 5-speed sunroof delete. Like I said earlier, when it comes to Porsche, I'm all about variety. So front engine, mid-engined, and rear engine. So 78 928, which left the factory with the Pasha interior. And then here's a 1980 Al Holbert wide body. Al Holbert was a Porsche factory racer back in the 80s and also had his own dealership. So they did like their own sort of wide bodied version of the then current Le Mans winning 1980 GTR. So fiberglass body kit, bigger flares. So this is also a 1980 turbo. It's got the Taunton sports seats. And then next to it is a factory 1980 924 Carrera GT. So that's also a pretty cool car. Is another front engine water cooled 1995 968 manual. And then a 1984 normally aspirated 944. And then if we come over here, I'm going to show you the other 944 and then we'll circle back around. This is a 1988 944 turbo right here. So that covers the front engine water-cooled cars. So this one I got last year. It's in pretty good condition. And then I'll talk about the 914s. These are both 4-cylinder cars. This one's a 72. This one's a 73. These are both base model 1.7 bar. SEMA with Mobile One last year. It's got the shield bucket seats. This one has a 2.35 liter motor, single plug, short stroke, rolling on the Outlaw wheels. Just had a recent motor rebuild. Here's a Gen 2 04 slate gray 996 base Carrera. Here's a 1978 SC, also with a ducktail. And then this is the short stroke 2.5 motor that's going in the other 67S. This one's twin plug, dynoed at 312 horsepower. Right there. And then perhaps my favorite car, the car I'm saving till the end, is my 1990 964. So this is perhaps my most performance build to date. Also got the louvered fenders, gas cap that comes through the fender there. Channeled roof right there that you can see. Rain gutter delete. Rolled fenders, louvered windows. Early turbo tail that's been modified. R-inspired grafted in turn signals. Outlaw wheels, KW Club Sport suspension, Brembo Club race brakes, stripped out interior, just basically nice boucle carpet, my own steering wheel, leather headliner. And then the heart and soul of this car is the motor, which is a 993 95 twin plug 3.8 liter RS spec. This car's got approximately 320 horsepower and weighs 2,560 pounds. So that's pretty much it on the cars. I can show you a few more things, obviously.